Breaking news right now. Officers in Laverne searching for a man wanted for raping a child. They say John E. Lamb III on the run. He may be as far away now as southern Kentucky. He's 36. He was caught in the act, we're told, of raping the young victim. He threatened the family of the victim and officers during the incident before then taking off. Anyone who knows where he is should call 911 this morning. They're searching for this guy.
Problems with his plane had the Donald making an unexpected stop in Music City. And our Kimberly Davis live at Nashville International with the latest. And did he actually ever make it to his destination on time?
Amy, good morning. Yes, he did make it to Little Rock, Arkansas for that rally, but he did not make it on time. He was more than an hour and a half late after his plane experienced some mechanical difficulties in the air about 50 miles outside of Nashville, so they had to make an emergency landing here last night. Now, we're told one of the engines on the private plane started experiencing some mechanical problems, and crews had to make an emergency landing at Nashville International Airport. The Boeing 757 landed safely around 4 o'clock last night, and the FAA is currently investigating. A source close to News Channel 5 says the pilots reported an alert to situation, which constituted as a potentially serious problem. Sources say one of the engines was sticking in neutral. Trump boarded another private plane and was able to make it to last night's rally in Little Rock.
That was a rough one. Was not easy with all the traffic and all the problems and mechanical and everything else.
That malfunctioning plane is still here at BNA this morning for repairs. It's a little further down the runway. As for the repairs needed, they are not sure if it will be repaired in time for Donald Trump to make it to the New Hampshire primaries next week. For now, we are live at Nashville International Airport this morning. Kimberly Davis, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Kimberly. 4 people are on the run after a violent armed robbery in Antioch. It happened at the Hardee's on Haywood Lane around 10 last night. Police say the 4 masked men, all armed with guns, walked in while the manager was counting money. After grabbing the cash and from the safe, they took off. If you have any information, call police.
Former Metro Council member Lonnell Green Jr. will not face charges for lying under oath after cutting a deal with the DA. Green took the stand yesterday during a hearing for his cousin Tavares Buchanan, you see right there on the left, who is facing domestic assault charges. Green admitted that he had previously lied under oath when he told the judge he had the $10,000 to pay for Buchanan's bond. And then he also tried to apologize for incriminating phone calls in which he seemed to suggest that he'd keep the domestic abuse victim from testifying.
This has always been a toxic relationship for the past 5 or 6 years.
Use this language. You just can't just throw him up the river. That's not telling him he needs to sit down and counsel through this. That's telling her. But what that basically says is, you go forward with this, you're out of the family.
No, Your Honor. Because the family has been through this before, what we're saying is, in the toxic relationship, if you're going to stay with him, work on your issues.
Even though Green will not be charged with perjury, the DA says the deal does not keep him from facing other possible charges.
Lebanon Councilwoman Kathy Wormuth stepped down just 1 day after she was arrested for apparently showing up to a meeting drunk. Wormuth was charged with public intoxication Tuesday night. However, Wormuth says she was impaired because of a bad reaction to prescribed medication. She served as a member of the Lebanon City Council for more than 20 years.
And some disturbing allegations also, Amy, against a Fairview police officer who now is calling it quits after just 1 day on the job. Metro Police cited Ronnie Williams for patronizing a prostitute Monday night. So he has since resigned from the position in Fairview. He previously worked as the chief of the Millersville Police Department. We're told that Williams was an auxiliary officer for a little more than a year with Fairview, but was hired full-time on Monday and now is no longer with the force.
A wild shootout sends bullets flying across a neighborhood during the middle of the day. It happened on 22nd Avenue North at Formosa Street just before noon yesterday. Metro Police say people inside 2 different cars started shooting at each other. One man was hit in the neck, but we're told he's not cooperating with police. The vehicles are described as a tan or brown sedan and a gray or green Malibu type car. If you have any information, call police.
More than 6 months after a 12-year-old boy was killed in a fireworks accident, 2 people are now facing charges. Joshua Woods and Kenneth Starks, both charged with reckless homicide. Investigators say the 2 men were illegally shooting off fireworks in the J.C. Napier complex last June when 12-year-old Antonio Braden was killed. Braden had tried to fire off a damaged fireworks when it exploded, hitting him in the chest.